Hi everyone, and welcome to another speed build. Today I have a really exciting collab with the wonderful KrystinMyrieXo. She created this beautiful duplex shelf for us both to furnish, so we are each furnishing our sides in very different styles. She did hers in more of a messy roommate style, and I did mine in more of a put together family style. And she will also be joining me in this video, so say hi.
Hey!
And in case you haven't heard of her, she is just an amazing content creator. She has a YouTube channel where she uploads builds and Let's Plays. She also live streams on Twitch, so I'll link to her channel in the description below. Also link to her video because we also did a voiceover together for that one.
It was an interesting one.
Yeah, it was fun. I shared a lot of fun stories about college roommate horror stories because I have my fair share of those, so maybe I'll tell some more of those in this video. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, this is the point where I was just trying to figure out the layout because it wasn't too bad, but it took me a little bit to try to figure it out because I have a couple kids' bedrooms, I have 2 bathrooms, I have the parent bedroom, so just kind of shuffling that around here. I know you said in your video you had a little bit of trouble figuring out the layout as well.
Yeah, because I couldn't figure out if I wanted to make the bedrooms really small and cluttered or just larger. So I like seeing how you laid yours out because they're actually completely different.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always cool though, because when you do these collabs and just kind of see how people's minds work differently and how they kind of arrange the same space, because ours are our sides are essentially the same size. There's
right.
just some differences, the window bump outs upstairs are a little different in yours.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because I know in yours, you stuck the kitchen right in the front of the house, and then here I am sticking mine in the very back of it.
Yeah, yours has more of a bump out, like you said, over where your kitchen is, but I always like putting my kitchens in the front of the home, but because I did that, I ended up making my dining room be on the back half, and I don't even have a living room.
Yeah, because the back half is a lot smaller. Because I was, before I even went in to do the layout, into the game, I was, in my head trying to figure out. I think I actually mapped it out on graph paper. Because I was like,
yeah, because you was at the live stream when I did the exterior of the build, too.
Yeah, I was lurking a little bit. I didn't know whether to tell you I was watching, because I didn't want to make you nervous and be like, oh, she's watching, what if she's hating this?
See, I put a bathroom in my my main living area, so that really took a lot of the space too.
Yeah, I thought about doing that, but then I realized that wouldn't really work. It was tight enough as is, because I wanted to have a living room, because this is a family house, so I feel like having a living room is more important than in what you did. And then I wanted to have a dining room, and then I wanted to have the kitchen, and it just took me a while to work out in my head how to finish it, because I saw you putting in the windows, and I was like, ooh, this is going to be a little tough. And then there's that bay window area that's really pretty, but I can't really fit counters in that. And originally I was thinking, I could have the kitchen on one side of the back half and then the dining room next to it, kind of in front of the basement stairs. But then I realized that would not fit at all. So it's just kind of all in a line down it's just all in a line on the one side opposite of the stairs. But I think it worked together fairly well. It is kind of cramped though.
Yeah. See, the good thing about when I did my side about it being roommates and everything just doesn't match, it kind of makes everything work better when you actually don't have to have everything perfectly placed. Yours was a family home, so you kind of have a certain amount of things that you needed to add, your living room, dining room, where mine's a mess. Exactly,
yeah, you can just not have it. College kids don't need a living room, or I don't know, they just hang out in their rooms.
Or can't afford a couch.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter as much, but this is a family home, so we had to have a nice couch, and then I went a little bit more cluttered than usual with the coffee table here, because because this is also a fairly small house, and it's for 5 Sims total, so I felt like the kid stuff wouldn't be completely tucked away nicely, so I had some toys sitting out here on the coffee table, and I think I also stuck a laundry basket next to it, kind of they were folding their clothes while watching TV and hadn't brought them upstairs yet to put them away, so I was just trying to add a lot of those clutter touches. And we talked about this in your video too, kind of saying that the clutter in a family home is more in its place, whereas in the house you did, it's just all over the place and things are completely where they don't belong.
Right, and filthy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just things completely in weird places. But that is fun to furnish too. It's just very, that was kind of the cool thing, that we took something very similar and went in completely different directions with it.
Right. And just from the outside looking in, it looks like it's such a big home, but it's really not, because it's just more of a long, narrow build, but it's 2 homes together.
Yeah, it's not a lot of space, because I was looking at the dimensions of everything, and I was like, oh, this is not as much as I thought it was. Because even just watching your live stream, I couldn't exactly tell the dimensions, and then I went in, I was like, oh, because like I said, I had a completely different idea for the layout, and then I realized that would not work, and I like the biggest thing was figuring out where to put in the kitchen, because it's very small, and it's just kind of crammed into the back of the build.
So your basement, I want to see how your basement ended up turning out.
Yeah, I think at this point I already figured out the layout, but the nice thing was I was able to kind of figure out how to fit in the staircase underneath, because it's a little tricky, but you are able to overlap staircases. It's just you have to, I'm pretty sure, because I did this like 2 weeks ago, so I don't remember exactly what I did, but I think you have to stick the upper staircase in first, and then you have to stick the one underneath it, but then you also can't have the walls beside the staircase in at all. So you have to delete those, which I didn't really like, because I thought it would look better if I could have kept those walls in.
Right.
But it's better than nothing. And doing that did give a little bit more space than just kind of sticking it next to it, because I definitely needed the space in here. So I was glad I was able to work that out.
Yeah, mine I just put beside it.
Yeah, which still looked nice, because I saw that, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, you did it differently than I did.
But it kind of gave you more space to
Exactly.
work with,
Yeah,
though.
that's a problem, because I thought about doing that, and I was like, ugh, there's this so tight that I'm worried. Because like I had to fit more of the stuff in here. I knew if I stuck that staircase in the middle, that would have cut way into my living space, and it just would not have worked.
Yeah.
So I had to mess with that to get it to work.
Yeah, and you were able to get a living room, and I wasn't. But I also have a laundry room too.
Yeah, I think. Oh, I had because there's a bathroom in the basement, and it's not a separate laundry room though. But I just stuck the washer and dryer stacked up in there in one corner, so I was able to fit it in, but it's just kind of crammed in. Because yeah, the basement has a grandparents' bedroom and a bathroom, and then a play area / office for the parents. So it's just kind of this multi-purpose area that everyone can use that kind of fits the stuff that wouldn't fit into the bedrooms because they are fairly small. And then you, of course, have the parents' bedroom, and then I just did 2 kids' bedrooms because I imagined that this was for a family with younger kids.
I love all the pet stuff.
Yeah, because I also was thinking, maybe they had a dog, because I stuck a pet bed, like maybe a dog and a cat in here too. Because I think I stuck one of those. I think I left it in, but I had a smaller pet bed and then all of the pet stuff there. Because I was trying to figure out what to put there. Because that was originally where I thought I could fit in the dining room. So when that didn't work, I was like, okay, great. What am I gonna do with this space? So it just worked really well as the pet food area.
Yeah, it's really cute. It's like a cute clutter.
Yeah, exactly. Like purposeful clutter.
Yeah, mine's like stinky dishes and like spilled juice.
Yeah, that's still so much fun to do though.
Yeah.
And then here.
Oh, and you put all the pictures. I like that.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out though, because I was trying to find balance. Because like when I do that, it's easy to make it too much, and then it's just too much going on when you look at the wall. But then when I had nothing there, it was too barren, especially since everything else is fairly cluttered. So I spent I cut a lot of it out, but I think I spent 5 to 10 minutes just trying to figure out the paintings for that.
Yeah, you really have to do it a good way, especially if you're doing it in a home like this, just so that it doesn't look like a mess.
Exactly, because you want it to look like, I don't know if haphazardly put together is the right way, but you want it to look like neat, but not too neat and perfect. Kind of like they just threw up like random things they had, but at the same time, it doesn't look like a mess of things that don't completely go to, that don't match at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's always that.
I like this hallway.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't really stick too much in it because I think
I hate hallways.
Me too. They're the worst because I'm like, what do I do with this? Do we stick a chair that they're never going to use in here, or do they get a bookshelf that they're never going to use? And I always end up with like 10 bookshelves in each build. I'm like, what family reads this much? I mean, maybe some do, but most don't need like a bookshelf in every room.
And you need to be careful because if you put too much, then they can't even like get to a door.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then if you don't put enough, it's like completely empty.
Yeah. It's always like, especially with family homes, there's always like a tricky balance. And I guess it kind of depends on the family you're furnishing for. But it's like, you want it to look messy because life is messy, but then you don't want it to look too messy. And it just kind of depends on what you're going for. But this bedroom here is probably my favorite. I was trying to go for a sort of a dinosaur theme with it. So there's actually dinosaurs in the wallpaper, which is perfect. And then dinosaurs on the curtains, and that bed went really well with everything. Because I didn't want to...
Wait, there's dinosaurs on those curtains?
Yeah, if you look really closely, there's a little brontosaurus on it.
Oh my god. I never knew that.
Yeah, I found that out, I found it out a few years ago, but I noticed, I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then if you look at some of the other swatches of that curtain, they have some other things on them. Like, I think one of them, I think the blue one might have some sports stuff on it. I'm not 100% sure. And then I think the pink one has something else, but I think each of them have, maybe there's some plain ones, but they have like different little things on them.
Okay. See, I never used those. After all these years.
Yeah.
I've never known that about those curtains.
Yeah, I used to use them all the time back in the base game days, but we've gotten much better curtains since then, so I just didn't use them for the longest time. And then when I wanted to go for a dinosaur theme in this room, I was like, oh yeah, those have dinosaurs on them, so let's just throw them in here. And I also I just kind of like how it goes together with like the rug and then the orange on the bed, because like that's a season's bed, but it really goes well together with everything. And then this dresser's always really cute. So I just kind of like...
Yeah, the clutter on the dresser is really cute.
Thank
with
you.
the project and everything.
Yeah, I wanted to just look very... Because, like, they don't have a lot of space, as I said. So I just wanted to look like everything's just kind of all over the place. Like, they just kind of had to stick things where it could fit. So, yeah, this is definitely my favorite room out of the ones in here. And then this one's... It's still for a kid, but I was imagining it was kind of like... It was kind of an older kid, because there's less toys in here, and then they have a desk. So it could also be a teen room. If anyone downloads this and they want to use it as that, you just have to remove a few toys, so it's a little easier. But I still like how this one turned out.
Could be like the non-existent preteen.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if I'd actually want preteens though in the game. Like, what's your opinion on that?
I actually would rather have improved babies than preteens. Like, I really want to see actually functioning babies that can crawl instead of walking. Like, I would love to see that in baby swings. And it's just more realistic, because right now all babies do is scream and cry, and you feed them,
I know,
right?
exactly. It's like I'm always just like, oh, like I think, oh, I'll play the whole 3 days and then being a baby, and then after a day, I'm like, oh god, I'm sick of them screaming, and I just want to age them up, because they do nothing. Like, they literally, like, there's no personality to them. They're just wiggling around in a little bassinet. So it's like I'm like, I just want to get past this. That's why I was so glad when they finally added in toddlers, because it was just it was just so annoying going from babies who do nothing to like 8-year-old looking kids.
Yeah.
And it just messed with the timeline of things so much.
And I feel like, even though, like, yeah, it's a game, but I feel like when you're in game and your sim finally becomes pregnant, that you're supposed to be like so excited, but you dread it, because all you know that's going to happen is they're going to scream, they're going to cry, and that's all you can do with them.
Yeah, and then you just want to age them up to a toddler to get him to just get past it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then the toddlers, I think they look like they're like 3 or 4, so they're older than the toddlers that were in The Sims 3.
Yeah, and Sims 3 had crawling too.
Yeah, the babies did. Well, the babies didn't really do much in that game. But I guess
didn't they have baby swings though with Sims 3?
I think that was store content. I'm pretty sure, like, that didn't come with any packs. But I remember that might have been for the toddlers. I don't think that was for the babies, or maybe it was. But the babies were just kind of little burrito babies. Like, they were just wrapped in a blanket and didn't do much, but your Sims could still pick them up and then drop them places, which is always funny, because they would drop them places you would never want to put a baby.
Okay.
Like, there's so many, like, have you ever seen the pictures of them dropping a baby in the snow?
No.
Like, my Sims would literally, like, they would pick up the baby in the winter and then just drop it in the snow, and then you couldn't see the baby anymore.
Oh no.
So you would just...
See, I've barely played, like, I've just gotten into Sims 3 like last summer when Steam had a sale, so I'm like a witch player. Like, I just play with witches and farms.
Okay.
So when it comes to babies and stuff, I don't know much about it.
Yeah, no, it's like, I guess the babies were a bit better in The Sims 3, but yeah, they just didn't really do much.
What about Sims 2? Do you remember what they were like there?
Oh, they were worse in terms of they were like way harder to play, but that's far more realistic.
Okay.
I think they did babies better in The Sims 2. Like, I haven't played The Sims 2 in years, but I remember when you fed your baby, they would literally toss the baby bottle. So it was so much harder.
So you had to struggle to get them to eat.
Oh no, what I meant by that was the baby would drink and then the baby bottle would be tossed on the floor and get stinky. And same with the diapers. So, because in The Sims 3, when you change, and in The Sims 4 too, when you change their diapers or feed them bottles, it just disappears. But in The Sims 2, it would end up dropped on the floor. So you would have to go through and clean up all the diapers and all the bottles.
Aww,
so it was so much
cute though.
But it was so much more work. It's a curse and a blessing, because it's more realistic.
I suppose, like, laundry and like Sims 4 laundry, how it sounds like so good and realistic, but really everybody hates it now.
Yeah, but then it's definitely more true to life that you feed a baby and their bottle doesn't magically disappear, because I remember playing it.
Right.
And you have to feed the baby so much, and I remember I'd have like 10 stinky bottles sitting on the floor, and then I have diapers all over the floor, and it was so hard. But they had some stuff that made it easier, because I remember they had these reward stuff you could get to help your baby skills get up quicker. I don't remember if babies could learn skills or not, but I know the toddlers could too. I don't remember much about. I think the toddlers were the same thing, where you would change their diapers and it would get on the floor.
Okay, now I want to open my Sims 2 and play it because I have downloaded it. I've never played it.
Oh, you should. I haven't played it in years, but it was so good. That was the Sims game this is probably not the one I played the most. At this point, it's probably Sims 4, but I feel like I got into the Sims 2 more than the Sims 3. I got into the Sims 3 a lot too, but I have such a love for the Sims 2. Like, it has such a special place in my heart because it came out when I was in high school, and I had more time then. I just really love the Sims 2. And there's also impressive details they had. Like, when they cook, they'll actually open the drawers and pull stuff out of them.
Aw. See, I missed out on all of that because I started, like, Sims Original. Like, I started with that because they had it, like, we actually had a computer store in our town, like, small town computer store. You could buy your printers, whatever. And they had, like, all their computer games, and I had bought The Sims. And then over time, I ended up getting Hot Date. But that's all. I didn't know that The Sims had, like, came out with any more expansions because the store didn't sell it. And never heard no more about The Sims until Sims 4 City Living.
Oh, wow. That's
why, like, yeah,
that's a
like,
huge gap.
I missed out. I know, right? I missed out on all of the other expansion packs of the original Sims, completely missed Sims 2 and 3, didn't even know they existed. So you can imagine when I seen The Sims 4 City Living, I was like mind blown.
Yeah, it's like did you not realize that Sims was still going?
No, not at all. I just thought it was like this one-off game that I was like obsessed with when I was younger.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was, oh my God. I'm so glad though that I found it. Like, I can't even imagine not having The Sims now.
Yeah, because I just been playing it ever since the original. Because I actually found about The Sims because my grandfather bought it. Because when I was younger, he's always been really into technology and keeping up with technology. Mm-hmm. And he used to just buy computer games he found interesting. I remember I found out about Roller Coaster Tycoon through him. He had, I think, like, I didn't really play it much at the time, but he had Civilization, I think. He had a bunch of stuff.
So did you have, like, all of the original, like, expansion packs for the original Sims?
I think I did. I think he actually bought some of them for us because he played the game. He didn't really like The Sims much. Yep. But my brother, my cousin, and I loved it. So whenever we would go over to my grandparents, we would just play it a whole bunch. We'd kind of like fight over taking turns to play it. And then he didn't play it, but he would still buy the expansion packs and install it on his computer for us. And then at some point, I got my own computer when I was like 13. So then I was finally able to play it at my own house, which was so exciting. And then it took me a little bit because like I was young, like I didn't have a job or anything, so it took me a little bit longer. Like just saving up the $30 or whatever it was to buy an expansion pack was a huge deal. Right. So it took me longer to buy them. But yeah, I don't know. I'm so glad that he bought the game and showed it to us. And ever since then, I've just been keeping up with all the releases. There was a period of time during the Sims 2 era where I just got busy and I didn't really buy any of the later expansion packs, so I haven't played with any of them like Bon Voyage and Free Time.
See, and then like back then, we didn't have YouTube to learn about cheats, hacks, like easier ways to do this. Like you literally had to like grind it out on that game. Like if your Sims died, if you had no money, that was it.
Yeah, we didn't have YouTube, but there were some blogs and stuff. Like I remember looking at forums and stuff like that to get some information and find out about stuff, which definitely wasn't as easy as YouTube is, but if you looked, you still could find stuff. Like I remember finding challenges for how to play the game and stuff like that. But yeah, the community was definitely a lot smaller back then. Like it's nothing like what it is now. Right.
See, I don't even think I looked up any communities or anything like that. I just played the game whenever I could. And
when did you first find out that the Sims community on YouTube was a thing?
Well, it's actually bizarre because I wasn't even looking for The Sims. I was like really into watching vlog channels and stuff like that at the time. And I just randomly had this like recommendation for Urban Sims. Jen was doing City Skylines. And I had a recommendation for that and I started watching it and I was like completely freaking in love with her voice, how she like explained the game and just how she played the game in general, because I've always loved like City Skylines, all of those, like even Sim City. So I was like, went over to her channel, and as soon as I went over, it was like a flooding of The Sims, and I was like, what the freaking heck? And as soon as I seen that The Sims 4 was a thing, I immediately downloaded base game and started my channel the next day.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't
Yep.
know. So I found Sims YouTube videos back in, I want to say 2013 or 2012, because I've always loved building. Like, ever since The Sims 2 was the game where I really found that I loved building in The Sims. And I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was back in like 2012. I found Steffo Sims and Krill Sims. And that was back when they did the time-lapse videos. And
I don't think I ever heard of the second channel.
Krill Sims. I think he still does videos. I think he does more like, he still does some builds, but I think he does more like sim facts, like facts about the game kind of videos, or like he talks about the mysteries of the game. But those two were like the two channels I found first. I was like, holy crap, people make videos of them building in the game. Like I was building at the time. I was like, oh wow, this is so cool. And that made me want to share like my builds and stuff. So I think it was like a while after that before I got up the courage to start a channel. But later.
So what was your first video?
My first video, it was like a building video. Because I used to do them in the time-lapse style, but then I don't know, it's just...
Like with the pictures?
Yeah, but it's so much work, and it's not as fun as doing speed builds.
Right.
For me, but
I can't imagine how much work that would be for just taking all them individual pictures.
Yeah, I would end up with like thousands of screenshots. But
oh my god,
my first video.
Your poor computer.
Yeah, I had a laptop at that point that was decent, but wasn't really the best. Like the poor laptop couldn't handle some of the stuff I tried to get it to do.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's like my first video was awful. Like I think most people's first videos are awful, but mine is just, it was so bad. Like I did things a lot differently then, but yeah.
I remember when I was making mine, because I started with like Create a Sim, because I was doing mine on a MacBook. And I was like just so excited to be doing it. I wasn't like even recognizing that I had so much lag like going on in my videos. I was like trying to do machinimas, and I like look back at some of my videos and I'm like, how did anybody watch this and subscribe? Like I'm like mind blown, because it was like just like scene stop lag. It was so brutal.
Yeah, that's definitely like, I look back at my older videos and I feel the same way too. But that's a good thing. That means that you're progressing and you're getting better. Like that's definitely a good sign. Like I feel like you want to look back at your older videos and be like, okay, these are awful, because that means you've gotten better. But we are at the end of the building part of the video, so I will have a link to download this in the description. It's not going to be finished though, because it's just going to be my half of the build, and then the other half is going to be unfurnished. And then Krystin's also going to be uploading the same thing, so you can download whichever side you like. Like maybe try to put them together if you want to do that, or just pick one and furnish the other side if you want that. So unfortunately there won't be a fully finished build, but there will be something for you to download. So check in the description for information on that. And I'm going to go ahead and leave off here. So I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks for watching, and bye!